to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. We're in the workshop today. Hutch Club Studio. Hutch Club Clubhouse Studio is in there. But we're going to be doing some fretwork. A little hack that I've been using for quite a while now on my trusty old Yamaha APX T2. Check this out. At the moment, I don't know if you can hear this, but when I do a G chord, you can hear that buzzing. Hear that? It sounds rather nasty, and that's because of these divots in the frets here. So I'm going to do this, and then we'll do a comparison. Is the guitar in question? I love this little thing. I've had it for donkey's years. I use it all the blooming time. But as you can see, if I can get in there nice and close, the frets. Oh, can you see this? Focus, you bugger. Are very, very worn, and we get these divots in the frets, and it goes all the way up. I hope you can see this okay. It goes all the way up the fretboard, getting less as it goes up, but it's mainly the bad ones around. Whoop, sorry, the bad ones are here. And something I do every now and again is I use some silver solder, which is this stuff. This stuff, which is solder, but it has silver in it as well, so it's a harder solder. I have done this with normal solder, but it doesn't last very long. The silver solder lasts a little bit longer. The reason I do it is because, I mean, really, this guitar needs a refret, but the guitar itself, you can buy them for a couple of £100. It's really not worth the refret, and I can't afford a refret anyway. And I can't even afford to replace the guitar, so this gets me through. When it starts fret buzzing like crazy, I know it's time to do it. If I use normal solder, it usually lasts maybe equivalent of like 4 gigs. I do live streaming on my Twitch channel. You should check that out. Which they go on for like 5 hours, sometimes 6 hours. So that's like 2 gigs really, one stream. So every 2 to 3 streams, I will have to do this with normal solder, but with the silver solder, it lasts considerably longer. You can see this is a well-used guitar. I've had it for, I don't know, 6 years or more, and I pretty much play it every day, all my performances, etc. With the strings off, you can see how bad that is. There, all the way down. Like I say, it probably needs a fret dress, or new frets completely, you know, the whole thing. But the guitar's just not worth it. First thing you want to do is tape off the fretboard offs. I'm going quite a way down. I'm going down to there, and I'm going to do all of those frets. But I'm just going to show you one. So I'll probably take one of the bad ones, one of these, and then I'll do the rest, and we'll have a listen, see if it's any different. Alright, we're on the operating table. So the first thing, I'm just going to lightly, I mean, my files aren't greatest in the world, just lightly score these to kind of, like, in decorating terms, give it a key for the solder to grab, if that makes any sense. Very lightly though, you don't want to go mental. You can see how bad that one is there. That divot there is so bad. And obviously to clean out any residue in there. So basically all I've got is a soldering iron, just a cheapie really. Like I say, one second, let's get this out of here. Like I say in all my videos, I am not a guitar luthier. I'm an enthusiast. I build guitars for fun. Sometimes people ask me to do things for them, but apart from that, this is just basically a hack I learned, which has helped me out, so hopefully it can help you out. If you've got an old guitar that you want to just keep going, you don't want to spend the money on it, or you can't afford to spend the money, I wouldn't suggest maybe doing this on an expensive guitar. Like I say, this guitar is a couple of £100, so eventually I will just buy a new guitar, or just another one of these, once I've got the money. There's no point me spending money on a fret job on this. Anyway, so, basically you've got the soldering iron. I'm just going to run it over there, because there is like residues of the old solder left. You don't want to overheat this, because you don't want the frets to pop out. And then we're just going to get the solder here. Ooh. And we're just going to run that in there, flow it in. Letting it cool. Just make sure it gets into that groove there. You could use a flux, it probably would help even more. To use a flux. So you don't want to overheat that fret. Just run it across all those divots. Let it dry. Let it cool, if you will. And just give it. It is quite hot, but yes, you just don't want to, because that's how you remove frets, is by heating them and removing them. So you just got to be very, very careful with that part of it. Right now it's nice and cool. I'm just going to take my file here and very lightly smooth this out. You don't want to take any meat off of any of the fret. Taking your time is the key here. What you're doing is you're just taking the solder back. Like I say, this silver solder is a little bit tougher than the normal solder, so it does take a little bit longer, but that's what you want. Just getting off the edges there. And you see it's starting to fill. It's starting to fill the holes. And what we're going to do is we're going to run another lot in there. Using your finger to feel. Yeah, that's quite smooth on the top. Don't want to take any meat off the frets at all. So that's almost got it. So we're just going to run a little bit more in there. Because that divot there was quite large. It's got the other ones. So I'm just going to run a bit more. Just on there. Obviously it's going to... I'll just have to be a little bit more generous on there. Don't want to play around here too much. That's better. Okay. And you can just keep doing this until you're satisfied that it's all filled, and then keep leveling it off. Don't take any meat off the fret, and then we're just going to shape the fret, round it off again. Basically crowning. You could use a crowning tool, but I don't have one. Alright, so I spent a little time on this fret, this one here, and now I'm just crowning it off a bit. It's got a couple of dents in it, but we'll see if we can get those out. So just bring it to a point. And then we'll polish this off. So if you can see that, it's much better already. It's got a couple little dingies in there, but that might polish out. We might have to just run a little bit more on there, but we'll see how that goes. So I'm just using some sandpaper 320 grit to start with, just polishing off any bits. It's now it's nice and round now, which is nice. And then I'll move on and just polish that off with a bit of 1000. I mean, that is looking pretty good. So far, you can see that in comparison to the one next door to it. Where are we? That's the one next door to it, which we're going to do in a minute. That's the one we're fixing. Obviously, it's going to be a lot easier if you've got a crowning tool. that's going to be a lot easier. But I'm pretty happy. That's nice and round, like all the others. So I'm just going to grab some 1000 grit, polish that right up, maybe do a bit of rubbing compound on it, just polish it out, and then you can see. Okay, I've got some 1000. That's not going to take any meat off it at all. It's not got enough. I'm just going to run that over it to clean that out, polish it up. Yeah. Okay. Alright, just going to use a tiny bit of rubbing compound on there just to polish it out, which is how I polish my frets normally. And that should be it. And that is looking. Oops, something's just gone flying. Like that. Well, I could go further because it still has a little bit of an indentation, but I mean that is a huge improvement from what we had. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and then I'll show you that, and then we'll string it up and have a play. But there you go. But I went up to here. Where did I go up to? I went up to here, so that's not been done. These have been done back this way, and you can see it is a vast improvement. Hopefully you can see this. So we're going to string this up, have a little play, and see how we've done. Rightio, all done, restrung, new strings, all that stuff. Here we go. No buzzing. Lovely. Right, and that is it. This is me in my shed. That's the studio in there. Well, I'll be doing my Twitch streaming later using this guitar. So do come along and join me on Twitch where you can see me using this guitar and you can talk to me in the chat. I sing lots of songs, looping, all that kind of thing. It's good fun. A great community in there called the Hutch Club. So come and be a part of that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Helps me out a big way. We've now gone past 5,000 subs, which is awesome. Not much more left to say except peace till next time. I think there's a jingle. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you like my YouTube show, hit like and comment and get involved. If you dig my vibe, then hit subscribe and never miss an episode of my YouTube show. Peace. Till next time.